biggest U.S. ground invasion in Iran's history might actually be about to happen. And the target is a small island in the Persian Gulf that most people have never heard of. But it controls the financial lifeline of the entire Iranian regime. No Karg means no money. No money means no war. No regime. Nothing. It is that simple and that important. On March 13th, the U.S. launched what Trump called one of the most powerful bombing raids in the history of the Middle East on Karg Island, hitting more than 90 Iranian military targets. Trump said U.S. forces totally obliterated every target on the island, but he deliberately spared the oil infrastructure. But he also made it very clear that if Iran doesn't stop blockading the Strait of Hormuz, he would immediately reconsider that decision. Iran didn't stop. And now Trump is sending in thousands of Marines to the region. The 31st Marine Expeditionary Unit, or MEU, about 2,200 Marines, already aboard the USS Tripoli, departed Japan on March 13th, and is already entering the CENTCOM combat zone. The 11th MEU, another 2,500 Marines aboard the USS Boxer, has since departed San Diego, roughly 3 weeks ahead of schedule. On top of that, 2,000 soldiers from the Army's 82nd Airborne are being pre-positioned in the region. However, a US MQ-4C Triton surveillance drone has also been running persistent reconnaissance orbits directly over Karg's oil terminals. You don't do that if you're not seriously thinking about putting boots on the ground. Now, the US has 3 ways to play this. 1, a naval blockade. Surround Karg with warships, stop tankers from loading, cut Iran's oil revenue without a single boot touching the ground. 2, a full ground seizure, where Marines raid the island, hold it as leverage until Iran reopens the strait. 3, just bomb the oil infrastructure into rubble and end Iran's export capacity entirely. That last option is almost certainly off the table. Destroying the terminals means China loses 80% of its Iranian oil supply overnight. Gulf neighbors see far more brutal Iranian retaliation, and the US loses the one bargaining chip that could actually force a deal. So it's really between the blockade and the boots. But the risks of actually doing this are just as real as the reasons to do it, because Iran knows this ground invasion is coming. Iran has been moving military personnel, air defense systems, and laying traps on Karg Island, specifically in response to US intelligence about a potential operation. The previous strikes degraded most of the island's air defenses, including Hawk surface-to-air missiles and Oerlikon anti-aircraft guns. But Iran has been reinforcing them and adding man-pads. Iran has also been laying anti-personnel and anti-armor mines along the shoreline beaches, where US troops would stage an amphibious landing. And that is before you even deal with the fact that the Iranian mainland is only 15 miles away, loaded with anti-ship cruise missiles, ballistic systems, rocket artillery, and suicide drones, all of which can reach the entire island from the coast. Any US ships sitting offshore to support the Marines would be sitting targets for extended periods with no safe place to go. Israeli sources have privately warned that an invasion would trigger massive Iranian drone attacks, shoulder-fired missiles, and significant American casualties.